And why is that woe to us? Because you people and 62 million other Americans are listening to me right now. Because less than 3% of you people read books. Because less than 15% of you read newspapers. Because the only truth you know is what you get over this tube. Right now, there is an entire generation that never knew anything that didn't come out of this tube. This tube is the gospel, the ultimate revelation. This tube can make or break presidents, popes, prime ministers. This tube is the most awesome goddamn force in the whole godless world. And woe is us if it ever falls into the hands of the wrong people. And when the 12th largest company in the world controls the most awesome goddamn propaganda force in the whole godless world, who knows what shit will be peddled for truth on this network. So you listen to me. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We're in the boredom-killing business. So if you want the truth, go to God. Go to your gurus. Go to yourselves. Because that's the only place you're ever going to find any real truth. But man, you're never going to get any truth from us. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you that Kojak always gets the killer and that nobody ever gets cancer in Archie Bunker's house. And no matter how much trouble the hero is in, don't worry, just look at your watch. At the end of the hour, he's going to win. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. But you people sit there day after day, night after night, all ages, colors, creeds. We're all you know. You're beginning to believe the illusions we're spinning here. You're beginning to think that the tube is reality and that your own lives are unreal. You do whatever the tube tells you. You dress like the tube. You eat like the tube. You raise your children like the tube. You even think like the tube. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion. So turn off your television sets. Turn them off now. Turn them off right now. Turn them off and leave them off. Turn them off right in the middle of the sentence I'm speaking to you now. Turn them off.
Military programs that enhance security and stability on the continent.
AFRICOM is the creation of the Bush administration, Donald Rumsfeld to be exact, to expand the power, the outreach, the resources of the Department of Defense at a time really when the continent needs development, needs housing, needs healthcare, needs education, those core building blocks of healthy societies. The U.S. responds really with arms, with military training, with equipment and other military hardware. This, however, is not necessarily new.
dark and tragic history of the Congo with the return to Leopoldville of deposed Premier Lumumba, following his capture by crack commandos of strongman Colonel Mobutu.
So what we see now is a repeat of that Cold War experience, really, with the U.S. arming and equipping militaries, essentially putting forward a military fist, but covering it up with the velvet glove of humanitarianism and development.
We deliver this humanitarian assistance to these people. It helps increase that feeling of will and, importantly, providing a benefit to the population.
If there ever was a situation where AFRICOM personnel had to choose between protecting American interests or providing peace and stability to the African people, and we know that this choice will come up a lot, what are they going to choose?
First, it's controlling oil. Africa has now, as of December 2007, surpassed the Middle East as a source for U.S. oil. And we know, just as the case with Iraq, where there's oil, there's military might. The second is containing China. We know the U.S. right now sees this burgeoning power happening, and the U.S. in their quest for empire wants to make sure that they contain China. And the third issue is the so-called war on terrorism.
The United States retaliates for the bombing of its embassies. Cruise missiles are launched against suspected militant bases in Sudan and Afghanistan.
The government has denounced the attacks on what it has said was a civilian pharmaceuticals factory.
And breaking news this hour, one of the FBI's most wanted terrorists targeted in a U.S. airstrike in Somalia.
News agency reports are already saying that civilians on the ground died in this U.S. military strike.
Africa Command is here and helping our partner nations to be more capable in providing for your own security.
My security as a citizen in Africa does not rest on a program that is developed in Washington or or The Hague or London. It actually rests on, first and foremost, my government's capacity to be able to meet my basic fundamental needs.
Response coming from the majority of countries in Africa is actually quite positive. Is it not true that there are countries that have publicly come out and said no? No, I'm saying there have been countries that have publicly come out and said
As someone who has one foot on each side, one foot on the African side, understanding the impact of militarism on women and children on the African continent, as someone who's here in the U.S. and seeing the impact of militarism on particularly black and brown communities here in the U.S., I think it is critical for us to begin to raise our voices to say that we demand in the 21st century a different way. a way that does not see people as invisible, a way that puts people and human needs first.
In the early 20th century, Britain's World War II Prime Minister Winston Churchill paid a visit to Uganda, and he was so overcome by the natural beauty and resources of the country that he dubbed it the Pearl of Africa. Today in Uganda, you'll find that statement is still true. The country has some of the world's richest mineral and agricultural resources. Over 1,073 bird species and half the world's rare mountain gorillas reside here. Uganda is Africa's largest exporter of Robusta coffee. Not to mention, it is in fact the source of the Nile River. And now Uganda is finally starting to exploit its vast crude oil resources, something which due to political instability and lack of infrastructure was not possible before. There are 4 major exploratory companies in the industry. The largest is Irish company Tullow Oil. They've discovered the most oil so far, but it's still early days.
Yeah, we've discovered around about 600 million barrels of resources. That's barrels of oil we think we can produce from the ground. We think there's over 1 billion barrels here in Uganda, and that's sizable. You're given that Uganda produces or needs about 11,000 barrels of oil a day here.
Only exploiting Uganda's oil now is seen by many as a blessing rather than a curse.
I think we've been very lucky. We neither exploited our petroleum or our minerals in the past when we had absolutely no capacity to manage them. We are now in control. As a government, we are in control. We will collect our taxes. We have a strong Uganda Revenue Authority.
I think government are being very sensible because as soon as they got the first discoveries of oil, they stopped giving out blocks of land for oil exploration while they took a step back and tried to figure out, ouch, what are we going to do with this oil? How are we going to manage it?
Is a predictable consequence of our meddling in the affairs of others and has nothing to do with us being free and prosperous.